Alright, so this is going to be a video that's based around the democracy of purchasing items. And I had a couple of my fans ask me to do this video because they wanted to hear me elaborate a little bit more on what I was actually talking about. So this is going to be the video of me elaborating a little more on the democracy of food industry, or industry in general. Conflict throughout history has rarely been between two equally opposing sides, and this holds true for the US today. The economy is down, and we have a newfound respect for life, organic foods, economics, humanity, and so on and so forth. We seek to change the world and ourselves. So who are the opposing sides? The triangle works like this. The industry controls the government controls us, and we control the industry. This is how it's been for many years with little question. When commercial industries suffer, when consumers lose faith in their products, they turn to the government and demand help. To oblige the industry, the governments scare us with war, poverty, loss of freedoms, etc., until we turn around and invest back into commercial America. The rich stay rich, the poor stay poor, constantly humbled by fear, and the middle class is brought down just far enough to where they're not discouraged from trying to climb back up. Now you may be asking yourself, what does this have to do with what I purchase? Well, that's easy. We go to the source. What do we do when we become discontent with our lives? We go and complain to the government. We think, hey, you're in control, right? You're in control of us. What the hell's going on here? But in understanding the triangle, they're not in control at all. The industry is. But don't we run the industry? But doesn't the government run us? This goes on continuously in circles and circles and circles. Then why does it feel like the industry is the one with absolute power? It's because they understand the triangle. What happens when the industry loses control of the government and the government stops obliging the industries? Do the CEOs take pay cuts? Do they go bankrupt when the business goes bankrupt? No. What that does mean is that the middle class worker will be out of their jobs. Retirements, healthcare, profit shares, pensions, all that stuff gone. Banks stop giving small loans and small businesses fail. In addition, the low class is left with little option other than to shop at the few remaining megacorporations who are the same old corporations just renamed after being absorbed by another company. The middle class is brought down just far enough to where they still see a way to fight their way back up. But the poor stay poor and the rich stay rich. Continuous cycle. Now how do we change that? We stop turning to the government and complaining. We flip the triangle around. The government runs us, and they don't care how much we vote, complain, or die. I think that's very obvious. On the contrary, the industry relies on us to direct their product. If a product is defective, word gets around very quick to the populace, and that product is deemed defective and ceases to exist very quickly. When there's no more demand for a product, it is not supplied. Period. Now we need to take that knowledge of that power that we hold and realize how we can incorporate that into industry to change government. Because the industry runs the government, remember? We run the industry, and we have the power to change industry, and industry has the power to change government. Why would we turn around and go and try to change the government ourselves? We don't have any control over that. We do have control over industry. Much more control over industry than we do over government. Every day we vote in the industry. We don't very rarely vote in government. And if even then, if you believe that. We should come up with ways to vote against war, and not in the valid boxes, because that obviously hasn't worked. But in the industry, by finding things that we can vote for, by converting our cars to biodiesel fuel, by converting our cars to electricity or hydro, by riding a bike instead of spending money on oil, we can eliminate wars that are based around oil. Not by going directly to the government and saying this is not what we believe in anymore, because that doesn't work, right? But by showing them there's no money there, there's no profit there. And if the industry backs us on that, because that's what we're purchasing, we have a very strong force fighting against one cause. We can easily do things like vote against child labor by simply flipping over items that we buy and looking at its country of origin. Look into it. We can vote green by only eating organic foods. When the non-organic foods start showing up rotten on the shelves and being discarded constantly, Walmart will stop carrying them and only carry organic food. Guaranteed. I don't care how big they think they are. When their non-organic food is left on the shelf to rot, it will be discarded and will be replaced with organic foods. We have that power. When the industries are backstocked with unsellable items, they will cease to exist. We've done this with many defective products in the past. Now we should do it with defective politics. For our health, for our children's future, and mainly just because we're not blind. We are the masses, and the government is set up to work for us. And so is the industry. So it's about time we step up and make them serve us. And take responsibility for them as well. We cannot complain about wars which are fought over oil when we mass consume it. Not child labor when we are the majority of the exports. Nor cancer when our foods are filled with pesticides, hormones, steroids, bleach, and aspartame, just to name a few. We must take responsibility, have strong beliefs, and vote for what we believe in. Now this is just the tip of the iceberg on how deep this actually goes. You really can make a huge difference through industry, not through government, because we control industry 100%. It is a democracy that we control. I would like to hear you guys' ideas and comments on what I've just talked about a little bit. If you guys have any questions or have any beliefs that you really want to start voting for through your purchases, you can ask me. I have a lot of great ideas, because you can never really trust politicians, because sometimes they'll say something like they're going to stop wars or that they're going to do this or that, and then they turn around and not do it. But you can guarantee that whenever you scan something past an item, that vote is taken very seriously. Very, very seriously. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys have something to say about it, or that it helped you out a little bit, or inspired you to go out and start making some responsible purchases and to start changing some things. But this is Aaron Hicks, and have a good night, everybody.